What's up, everyone? It's your boy, Andy Coach George Caligoris, showing you and talking now about my lifting again. Basically, just haven't been too interested in making the voiceovers. So you can see here, hitting up some rack pulls from the knee. This was after 405 for a bunch of reps the day before. Basically, just trying to work my back, get my back stronger, get into a good position, and stay in a good position like I used to be able to. And I like pulling 315. It always just felt kind of good to me. So 315 for 25 reps on the knee-high rack pull. It's not something that will fatigue you like a normal deadlift, but it will train your back and your hamstrings and your hips. So finding exercises to build a deadlift without actually deadlifting, if you know how to deadlift, is really good. Otherwise, you just need to practice the deadlift. It's huge. You can see I got the straps on, but I'm squeezing the bar still, trying to point the elbows to the rear. So behind me, still driving the floor apart, but not quite excessive with my knees. My hips have been getting a lot more loosened up thanks to some basic fucking box squats. Box squats always make my hips open up. That was why I started doing them, because I was just getting really stiff in my hip area. I didn't like it. So just working on some hip stuff and deadlift stuff. Yeah. After those rack pulls, I moved into some bench pressing. Kind of spiked my nervous system with some 315 weight. Even though I wasn't benching the weight, my body got used to it, so all the weight was feeling pretty good, moving well this day. This is 205, hammered it out for 8 reps. You can see I'm still tucking my elbows into my side. Not extreme like a pterodactyl would, but pulling the elbows in, getting them to sit on my lats is key, and then keeping the wrist straight is huge. Being able to keep the shoulders back, shorten the range of motion. Something you'll see me not do in the single ply shirt. This gets really tight over my chest, and I need to be able to tuck my elbows more with this shirt, because you can kind of see I still lift it with a lot of tricep. I don't let the shirt do the work. It only gives me about, I don't know, 2 or 3 inches out of the bottom, maybe 4 or 5 out of the bottom, I mean. And then the rest of it is me. So it's like I'm just doing kind of a partial rep, essentially, but I'm getting full range of motion. You can see I got to lift my head up in order to touch, this is 295 by the way, in order to touch my chest, and that's a common powerlifter thing. And then I moved on to some slingshot work, some pinkies on the ring slingshot, 2 sets of 8. Trying to overload my triceps. You can see now my elbow sticks out further than my hand. That's normal when you bring your hand in. Not something that you should really work on trying to get your elbows tucked in more. It's just going to happen because leverages and stuff. Don't worry about it. You're fine. But still trying to stretch the bar, flare the elbows just at the top and not too early. Once you can tuck your elbows, you can learn to flare. Today, hitting up some box squats. Hips were feeling real loose. Couldn't really do a great job controlling the weight. Squatting 335 with a belt and knee sleeves. So I wanted to hit some sets of 5 with it, and I hit some sets of 5 with it. I think I hit 4 sets of 5 with 335, then I deadlifted 275. You can see I'm letting my knees go forward a little bit, and that's mostly because the rack I have just isn't wide enough to get my feet out to where I want them to be while I'm box squatting. That's kind of why I drop a little bit at the bottom too, because I don't have quite the right leverage when I try and sit back. So I actually have to sit more down than I normally would like to. But it's probably time to take the box away and do some free squats. Free squats are really hard with the safety squat bar. You gotta have. I would use it just as an accessory movement or a supplemental movement. I mean. You can see here, it's kind of all over the place. I am resting my elbows on my thighs at the bottom just so I know when to stop. Otherwise, I'll just fucking keep going. And the whole point is not to just keep going as deep as I can. because I have really good hip mobility sometimes. After I've been box squatting for a little while, you can see I cut that one short a little bit. It's bound to happen. Trying to just regain my balance. But learning those feelings and those sensations of what it's like to slow the bar down is something that you need to work on if you box squat a lot. You don't have the proper way to box squat, like I don't right now. You need to throw in some free squats. Anyways, just pulling some deadlifts, nothing crazy, 275. Trying to move it as fast as I can for 4 sets of 6. I was feeling pretty beat up and sluggish on this day. Had a long weekend, I guess. Who knows? Who cares? Just training. And then I did some high bar squats. I went up to 225, 3 sets of 8, which is pretty good. So that's it, guys. Make sure you like the video, share the video. Thanks for hanging out and watching.
How many selfies you take that day?
One.
Oh, you should have full photo shoot.
No, I took one.
We'll plug it on this fucking thing.
Yeah, he sends me a text that morning and he's like,